What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Jump. A lot of chaos this past week. This has been one of the craziest weeks of basketball that I can remember because involving the NBA, we had probably the most shocking and wildest trade in sports history, probably. I mean, definitely basketball history, but I think it's top two, not two, in sports history. So we'll talk about that. I've got some other things that I need to talk about, and my Wildcats, tough one. So we'll get to that. We got a lot to talk about. It was a great college weekend, and like I mentioned, the NBA trade that broke the news, and there's more trades coming. So we'll talk about a lot of basketball. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get straight into it. So I'll start out with my Kentucky Wildcats. So it was the long-awaited return of John Calipari, and obviously the title of my last video was "Should John Calipari be booed or cheered?" And I said I'd be silent. I think he's done plenty to deserve cheer, but the way it ended, there's a little dirty stuff going on. I don't think he deserves the cheering right now. I don't think it was deserving of a boo, but like all this chatter, everybody kind of had their own different stance and stuff. It was definitely more boos than cheers. You could see a decent amount of people clapping and cheering him on when he walked out. But if you watched the broadcast, it sounded like about 70% of the arena was booing. And I was shocked. I was very, very shocked. But even more shocking, I was mind blown at the boos that Big Z and Adu got. I knew DJ would get boos, and he was kind of the one that I could understand. But Big Z and Adu getting booed, that hurt. That really hurt. I was disappointed in the fan base. But yeah, that was an environment that like you can't even put into words. Like what that was. Like that environment was unlike anything I've ever seen at Rupp. It's something that you won't be able to recreate. Like he's only returning one time for the first time. Like that was absolutely wild. That environment was crazy. And it was a really good crowd for till half, and then Arkansas was leading at half, and it's like, oh shoot, like this isn't what we thought. And I don't remember if I said it in the last video or a couple videos ago or whatever, but I was like, John Calipari always wins one game on the road, where it was like at Kansas, at Tennessee a couple years ago, at Auburn, that like nobody thinks he's going to win, and he does it. And this kind of, I was like, man, this has the vibes to like do that. Like this is a game that he can win, because it's like there's all the extra motivation of like returning home, proving everybody wrong, and embarrassing the people that wanted him gone. I'm in the boat of I did want him gone. He's still my favorite coach of all time, but he definitely had to go. And we're in a much better spot with Pope right now than we would have been if Cal had returned. And so to me, I thought it was going to crush me. I thought I was going to be just absolutely devastated. But I mean, during the game, I was like, all right, you know what? We're actually going to lose this. Like it didn't feel real. But I was just kind of like, we're going to lose this game. And then it kind of set in. I was like, you know what? We're in a better spot than we would have been if he was still here. It's just a regular season game. I'm not tripping about it. And, I wasn't too worried by the end of the game. So, like, the booing of the players turned to motivation when it, sometimes it'll turn to a guy not performing well or something like that. But it turned to motivation. And the three former Kentucky guys scored 52 in this game. And not once at Kentucky did they combine for that. And DJ Wagner, I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for him, because his whole recruitment was kind of like, I was just super, super happy we ended up getting him after all the like drama of his recruitment and stuff. And DJ's just a dog. Like DJ Wagner is the definition of a dog. The one picture when he was at Kentucky of him holding the ball at the top, like holding it, and he's like licking his lips, like smiling, like a little like evil stare. Like that picture sums up DJ Wagner for me, and like that's what he did this game. And he had his best game at Rupp Arena. He had 17 points, I think 8 assists maybe. what an incredible game from him. And the story for him was he hit 2 threes, which, I mean, he was solid at UK. I think people have kind of let revisionist history take over and act like he's not good, but like he was solid at UK, especially like pre-injury. He was great. Big Z hit 4 threes in this game. He balled out. And then Adu, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Outstanding ball game from Adu. So yeah, it sucked. Like I'd be lying if I said it didn't. But like at the end of the day, like yeah, Coach Cal got his way and got the win. And it sucked. I think with Lamont Butler and Kirk Risa, it's a different story. And I think Kentucky probably wins this game. But yeah, that's the story of Kentucky. I mean, as I'm filming this, because this is the busiest month of my life, so I'm getting content, try to push it out as much as possible this month. I'm literally recording this as we are coming out of half, as we were down 23 at half, and we remain down 23 as I speak. And there's also Marquette, St. John's, the top 2 teams in the Big East that are absolutely duking it out right now. So that one's amazing. But yeah, back to Saturday. This was just a surreal moment. Like it was wild. It still didn't set in. Like he walked in wearing that red jacket. He had that smirk. It was just wild. What a world we live in. I wish Kentucky could have won it. and obviously I mentioned it in last week's episode where I was like, this is not a game you need to win just because of the Cal thing. Like this is just not a great SEC team. You need to get these wins when they're available. So that was kind of the most disappointing part to me. But overall, the most shocking and the part that sucked the most was the former players. So I'll throw up a couple tweets on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah, the former players, man. So the big one was Tata. He said walked into the trap and took over the trap. That was like a thing he would say all the time when he was at UK. And, I mean, obviously, the walk in their trap and take over the trap. Like, everybody says it when they go and win, like, a road game. But, like, Tata, he said that every single road win. And then Jacob Toppin responds, type, S-word. So just to pile on top of that one. Tata also tweeted, Coach Cal understands it now. Davion Mintz tweets, great win, coach. Yeah, and that all that sucked. But there was one that stood out, and it wasn't a tweet, it was an outfit. Reed Shepherd, a man born in London, Kentucky, growing up in the 13th region, as Kentucky gets. He wears Kentucky shorts, Arkansas shirt. That was absolutely devastating. And I'm not sure if BBN will ever forgive him for it. Maybe. But where in Arkansas, man? I mean, I get you want to support your coach, but like those other guys like didn't grow up UK fans. Like this dude was UK since he was born. His dad's roommate in college is the current head coach of the team. I thought it was AI at first. I was with a friend and I was like, oh, it's funny. Like I didn't even like show him because I was like, oh, it's funny. Somebody made an AI picture of him wearing both, and I was like, wait a minute. And I saw it a couple more times. I was like, this is actually real. And when it was real, my heart dropped. I was like, I cannot believe Reed Shepherd actually did that. So that was the most devastating thing all day, for sure. So yeah, those are tough. But yeah, Cal got his revenge, and I mean he always wins with class. Like I'm glad he didn't end up taking any jabs at Kentucky or anything. That would have sucked. But like he wins with class. He was like, no, Pope's not done a good job. He's done a great job. He was definitely the guy for the job. It was the right hire. All these different things. The things Kentucky fans, need to hear at that moment. So yeah, he made the Kentucky fans feel, I guess, a little bit better. But it was a night that I'm not sure anything could have made some fans feel better. Other than that, across the college basketball landscape Saturday, we had some crazy games. Duke Carolina was not even close. I think they said there was like the stat about Cooper Flagg and Knipple that it was like first teammates to have 25-5, I think, in the Duke-UNC game since like it might have been John Shire and somebody else. Like it was a specific stat, but it was a really cool stat. They won by 17. Scoreboard doesn't even show how dominant Duke was in that game. So there was that one, and that was kind of expected. The most shocking result of the day, Kansas State, a team below 500, goes to Ames and beats the brains in on Iowa State. Number 3 at the time, 80-61. Absolute domination. And it was kind of domination like the whole game. Like, what was the score at half? Yeah, they were up 37-35 at half, and they just dominated the second half. And it was an all-team thing. Like, everybody was playing well for them. So, yeah, what a massive win for Jerome Tang and company. But this Iowa State thing, they've lost... Yeah, they lost at Kansas last night, so they've lost 3 straight now. This I didn't realize Milan Momcilovic would be this big of a fall off. Like while he's hurt, I didn't realize it was going to be, this bad. But I think I'm on the party of buying stock while it's low for Iowa State, because Arizona, they won like 10 of their last 11. Like they're very, very hot. That one was in Tucson, so they win that one. I mean, they played at Fog Allen, which Houston proves you can win there, but like when Kansas is on, nobody's touching them at home, especially on Mondays. Then this one is obviously the one that stands out where it's like, all right, what happened? But you can throw in a fluke game every now and then, and I'll let you get away with it. Tennessee gets the payback on Florida. This was without Milicic and Zakai Ziegler, and they won by 20. So they got their lick back. Phenomenal game overall. It was absolutely wild to just see them absolutely dominate like that with Milicic out. I think he had the flu, and then Zakai with the minor injury. But Chaz had 19. Absolutely incredible game. Like they only played 7 guys and beat them 64-44. That's Tennessee clicking, and that's without arguably their 2 best players. The team that I think needs the most love right now is Texas Tech. They went 82-81 in overtime at Houston in the Baby Blues. Houston was wearing the Oilers throwbacks and lose like that. JT Toppin goes out super early on probably the worst flagrant 2 I've ever seen in my entire life. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It was absolutely crazy that they threw him out for that. But they did. And they still prevailed. So, between, Darion Williams, the whole team, Chance McMillan, like, the whole team effort, especially after the Grant McCaslin thing, which I think he said, he walked over to the bench and he kind of said things, and then he was like, I think he said it was Chance that got them, like, kind of grouped up, and he was like, I didn't have to say anything else. So, what Grant McCaslin's done with this team is absolutely incredible. And they've only lost 1 game since the new year, and it was Iowa State in overtime. So, like, if that's the one, then, man. And it was incredible to see Elijah Hawkins just go straight at LJ Cryer late in that game. Like, this team's fun, dude. Texas Tech, this is a team where if you're buying stock now, you're late. Like, I started talking about them a few weeks ago, and, man, they're fun. Sitting at 17-4 now. I think they play tonight as well. Yep, 9 o'clock. Playing Baylor, which leads me into my next one. Baylor, with the insane comeback over Kansas. So they went 81-70. They were down 40-21 at half. But the reason for the comeback is Rob Wright. So with all the injuries, Jeremy Roach is out. VJ Edgecombe's had to miss a couple games, whatever. Rob Wright plays 37 minutes in this game, 24.6 assists, and 2 rebounds. And if you look at his game log, he had 24. He had 22 last game. He had 14 the game before, 8, 6, 16. But he's been very, very consistent recently, and the numbers look solid. So, like, Rob Wright is the freshman that doesn't get the most love that he deserves. Like, he's absolutely balling. Just another freshman that you can throw on this class. It's just incredible. UConn got a massive win at Marquette to bounce back a little bit. Missouri beats Mississippi State by 27 on their home court. Michigan State drops their first game since before Thanksgiving at USC. And St. John's survives against Providence. Also, I do need to mention this one because now they're unranked now. But Louisville, I said they weren't going to lose another game the rest of the year. They go down to Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech wins the second half, I think, 50-32. But somehow that was not the most dominant second half performance of the day because Oklahoma won 61-27 against Vanderbilt in the second half to win that game by 30. So, absolutely wild Saturday. But the stories of the day was the Iowa State collapse, Texas Tech without Grant McCasland and JT Toppin, and then Baylor with the crazy comeback. So to wrap things up, I do need to mention because I'm a fan of basketball overall, more college basketball than anything, but the Luka trade. So this was Saturday night as I'm in my feels from the Kentucky game. I'm just sitting there playing Xbox with some friends, and I look over my phone and I was like, oh, Shams tweeted. It's like midnight, whatever it was. And I see Luka, and I was like, oh, what'd he do? Just sign a new contract or something? And I click it, and I was like, Luka's getting traded? And I was like, what is... And like, I feel like I read this slow-mo. I was like, Luka's getting traded. Who's he getting traded to? And then it said Lakers. I was like, did the Lakers just give up everything? And then it says AD, Max Christie, and the pick or whatever. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And then there's the Markieff Morris and Maxi Kleber thing. Like, I am the biggest Anthony Davis fan that I've ever met. I have all the AD jerseys, tons of posters of him. It's my favorite basketball player of all time. But good Lord, what a fleece. That was insane. I can't believe Nico Harrison would do that. I mean, I'm not saying anything that other people haven't said yet, but like, what on earth? He's 25 years old, super duper megastar, face of the franchise that just led you to the NBA Finals, and you say you're in a win now mode, so you go get Anthony Davis. I just don't understand it. And now it looks like they're doing their absolute best to get Kevin Durant to pair with the AD and Kyrie thing, but like, boy, that's win now. I mean, that trio is win now because like here in 3 years, that two of them might be retired, and one of them might be missing games, injury, and everything. It was wild, but it is crazy that the Lakers have this history of like Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq, Kobe by himself, LeBron, and now it's going to fade straight into Luka. It's absolutely wild. And if you're Rob Pelinka, like, thank you. Like, that just fell right into my lap. Like, that was absolutely insane. I still can't believe it. It won't feel right even after seeing Luka play some games. It's absolutely insane. And I kind of feel bad for the Dallas fans because, like, they're absolutely crushed. So, yeah, that was mind-blowing. And then my boy De'Aaron Fox, he gets what he wants. He wants to play with Wemby, and so they make the trade happen. 3-way deal or whatever, where Zach LaVine ends up pairing back up with DeMar DeRozan in Sacktown, and then a few players go to Chicago or whatever. But the news was De'Aaron Fox to go play with Wemby. That's gonna be an incredible duo. I am super excited for that. I think De'Aaron's like 26. And then Wemby's obviously just crazy young. Like, that's going to be a duo to watch for years. And I feel like De'Aaron Fox, just like his skill type, like, I feel like that was the perfect guard to mix in with Wemby. And I mean, learning from Chris Paul, he's got a decent little track record of, like, teaching players and helping players grow. So that one's going to be a fun one, too. But really, the Luka news took over the sports world. And that's a rare case where something else takes the media by storm on Super Bowl week. It's crazy. So, Luka Doncic, Los Angeles Lakers, still doesn't feel right, but That was the end of a crazy Saturday, and absolutely mind blowing. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Jump. Trying to get more content. Like I said, it's the busiest month of my life right now. Like for those of y'all that don't know, I do coach and then work. So like it's crazy. Like I feel like when I'm home, it's like mind blowing that I'm home and I can chill. So thank you for tuning in. It's all greatly appreciated. Make sure to follow the socials. The Jump Sports on everything. Just add an underscore if you're doing it on Instagram. So at the end there. So and then thejumpsports.com. Go check out the blogs and I'll be on there. But Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything. You can find me on there. So thank you very, very much for tuning in. Like I said, it's greatly appreciated. God bless you all. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy some college basketball this week. And peace.